Hello there, Ray here, and today we will be looking at a bunch of new things about 1.17. These are sneak peeks that the developers have tweeted out, plus they also announced that all the Minecraft players can actually get a cape in-game. And I really appreciate you guys to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, as I'll be making tons of videos all about the 1.17 update and using my 11 years of playing Minecraft to dive deep into how these changes will affect the game. And we're really close to 175,000 subscribers, and thanks to everyone who already subscribed. Now let's get right into it. Lady Agnes showed this picture here on Twitter, which is testing of the new lightning rod. You can see some lightning strikes are coming down over here as well as here. You can see the lightning rod here, it is turned sideways, so it's kind of like an end rod. It looks like it can turn whatever direction you put it. Also notice when the lightning hits it, it does put off a redstone signal to the blocks nearby. Even the ones that it's not technically touching, like this piece here is touching this one. It also does this side and this side. You can see redstone dust coming out. And it's not just a signal of one. It looks like it'll be a full 15 signal. The lightning rod is still putting off fire, because there's fireplace all around here. The trees haven't caught on fire yet, but since it is a lightning storm, it's also raining, and that means the rain usually puts off the fire. In rare cases, it will lightning, then the rain will abruptly stop, preventing the fire from being put out, and that's what actually starts burning of stuff. Or the fire just burns really fast before the rain can put it out. Another thing we can see is that it is producing skeleton horsemen. So even though the lightning was redirected to this area here, it was absorbed by the lightning rod. It won't prevent the horsemen from spawning in. This is a good thing because we can use this to our benefit to create a new lightning farm that is a lot smaller than that extremely big one that we made years ago. And I'm not talking about our RNG lightning farm. Before we made the RNG one, we made this really big one. You can check it out down below. So lightning will also interact with nearby stuff. So if you have like creepers here, it'll make charged creepers. Or villagers are here, they turn into witches. Or pig will turn into pigmen. Or red mushrooms will turn into brown mushrooms. So we can get all the effects of a normal lightning strike just concentrated into one area. Now over here, I think there is another lightning rod. And it looks like it's also attracting lightning. So it looks like it gets divided up. Lightning is also not striking these copper blocks over here. I think they should remove the fire from the lightning if it does hit directly onto the rod. Because that's kind of the whole point of a lightning rod, is to prevent fire from going on to other stuff. Now over here, I thought this was a trident, but it looks like just like a raindrop. I'm guessing if there was a trident that was thrown, the lightning rod probably wouldn't direct it, because of the channeling enchantment on a trident is specifically designed to like channel the lightning to where the trident hits. The big question is, how big an area will this do? I'm guessing it's going to be at least several chunks. For the lightning rod to be effective, it'd have to pull lightning from at least a 9 chunk by 9 chunk area. Anything smaller would just make it cumbersome. I93 made a good point, which is it should also be able to protect map arts as long as you can't actually see the end rod block on your maps when you're looking at them. And on ProTech, we have a lot of map arts which are getting damaged slowly by lightning. And usually to get a really good looking map art, you have to use all blocks, including ones that can burn. King B-Dogs gives some insight on how they take on different challenges when adding in new updates. He talks about how they want to kind of flesh out the current biomes in Minecraft before adding in new ones, such as like a sky dimension or other dimensions, and that they're aiming more towards early game content. This does kind of make sense because when people join the game, they're not too sure what to do. If they start seeing some like structures around, they might like walk towards it and explore it. And with the cave update, that would be another focus point for players to go towards early game. Now, archaeology sites, or Archie sites as he calls them, is one of the things they showed during Minecon. The devs are looking for feedback like Ulruf, and he mentions that archaeology is kind of early game as well. It's not really going to provide like the strongest items in the game. They are looking for more of a story that can be told through the excavation of these artifacts. I personally would love to see more of the history and the stories behind like the creeper mob or like the phantom, those mobs that don't really exist in other games. And so far they show you can kind of put these together and put them on a big base. One cool idea would be to have other types of clay pottery that can be found there. Something like these big water basins would be kind of a cool thing to have. Maybe some kind of clay pillars. Now it's interesting that the archaeology sites currently just have clay fragments, as in the Minecraft kind of tech tree, you go from like wood to stone and there's no clay at all. You can make like clay flower pots, but they're not used for anything other than decoration. So maybe these big clay things will only be used for decoration as well. And it would be cool, since these clay pots are kind of really big compared to the little flower pots. Maybe you could put the 2 tall flowers inside of these and they look really big and massive. Maybe you could even plant like miniature trees in them. But they could even be useful where you can actually store stuff in them. But there's just so much stuff that could be found through archaeology. Not only current items, but also new items. And this is actually related to our next point. And that is this GIF here. This is Exophilin showing this property of he's flicking this redstone lever and it's breaking off this redstone dust and this one and leaving this one. and it's also pushing those blocks, and this one's not getting pushed. Now first, this just seems like a typical redstone updating order problem. That is, when the redstone updates, it doesn't always update in the order in which it would appear to, like from this lever going outwards. Therefore, it can cause updates at certain pistons before others. And if you would do this in survival, oftentimes the results are pretty similar, where it will pop off one or two, but also push the nearby ones. But once in a while you get a location like this one where you flick this lever and you get a really weird result. And that has to do with the redstone updating order. Most of the time you get this type of result, but Manrock thought maybe this has to do with them adding in the archaeology sites, which have like gravel and dirt, which you can brush away with your brush tool. And because those blocks have NBT tags in them, they're unable to be pushed. So it'd be very similar to like having a furnace there, even though they look just like a sand block or gravel or dirt. And if you do this, you can see you actually get pretty much a similar result that he was seeing. And it would make sense that they are testing to making sure that stuff like gravel or sand that has this NBT tag, how it will act when it gets pushed, or if it will get dropped and be able to fall like normal sand. Because in the original clip here, you can see that when he pushes them, the sand moves over and then falls downwards. You can also see right here, he's testing with a jack-o'-lantern head. And in his inventory, you can see he has a variety of different stuff. Some redstone components and also snow layers. It'll be interesting to see how this new archaeology block interacts with the world. Felix also showed this clip here, saying when I convinced yet another person to read the Java minecart dismount code. And the clip is a funny clip of them reading and then being very astonished at what there is in the Minecraft code for minecart dismounting. Over the years, they have changed the way players leave minecarts as well as other mounts, but this is a good indication that they may revamp the minecarts altogether. This is, after all, the cave update, which minecarts would be very useful if they worked properly. Currently, there are just way too many problems with it, and I covered a lot of the problems in a video that I did many years ago. I'll link it down below. This next clip shows some insight into how the crystals are formed. This is by one of the developers, Corey. And here you can see it's growing. Now, they did talk about how this block here, this purple block, can't be moved throughout the world. This is at the geodes, but it will produce crystals. So you have to come to this location, let the crystals grow up, and then harvest them for those crystal shards to make the telescopes. And if you look at the crystals that they showed during the Minecraft Live event, you can see these are really big ones, where these are really small and they're growing up. But the stages between this one, and this one seem like it's quite a bit. So I'd guess at least 4 stages of growth or maybe more. The next new information we have is about the glow squid. A lot of people are hoping it drops some unique item that can make other items glow. But one of the Mojang developers actually confirmed that you cannot take this kind of glowiness that the squid produces and use it to make different colored lights. Currently in the game, all light is kind of the same hue. And it's unlikely for that to change for quite a while. But the developer did say that it's going to do a lot of cool things, which is good to hear because people are a little disappointed to hear that the squid itself wouldn't actually put off any light to nearby blocks. It didn't seem that interesting. There was some concern that big blotches of like granite, diorite, and andesite kind of change the look of the cave. And the devs responding saying that Henrik, one of the other devs, has some cool ideas on how to overcome this problem. Maybe even in plain caves, we'll see some variations in blocks to kind of smooth out the harsh looks of diorite. Or you might see a change in the way they implement diorite and granite into the ground. So instead of them kind of being splotched everywhere, maybe there's just some areas where we see them kind of prominent, or there's special cave biomes that they show up in. Now recently, Henrik also confirmed that this cave structure that can barely be seen on his computer screen is a new type of cave, which he calls a mesh cave. And in this tweet by him, he actually shows the cave system that he went through that inspired this. What he described looks very similar to what's known as a tailless cave, where big pieces of rock kind of fall in and it makes it so you have to crawl in these really small holes to reach other parts of the cave. That's exactly what he was describing. So overall, it looks like the cave is extremely tight and narrow compared to the other caves around it. And most likely we'll have to mine out blocks to access the new parts. Now he did mention that there will be no like crawling mechanics added into the game because in Bedrock Edition they don't have that. But I think it'd be really cool to have crawling mechanics where you push a special key, you could even go down to like what we know as swimming mode. Maybe they could just add that to Bedrock, and that would definitely make caves a lot funner to traverse. But it will be exciting to see what actually entices players to go into such small places. Is it the hopes that they find a different type of cave or something unique in there? When it comes to actually like mining ores and stuff, the bigger caves have more surface area so you can actually see more ores and traverse them a lot easier. But Henrik does mention that there was a lot of spiders when he was checking out this cave here. Typically animals and insects will kind of be near the entrance of the cave, but once you get inside of it, there's usually nothing. they're bringing two-factor authentication to Minecraft, and they're also moving all the Java Edition accounts over into Microsoft accounts, as Microsoft is the owner of Minecraft, and all Bedrock players already have Microsoft accounts. And they said this will increase the security of the account, and then you can use the same account for all the different platforms. There's also improvement for parental controls. There's also chat and invitation blocking. They did say that migrating Mojang to Microsoft account is mandatory, so you don't have an option. So they're going to start moving accounts in early 2021. Since they do have a large Java community, they will be moving them in batches. Everybody who does get the two-factor authentication will get a cape, but it might just take time to get everybody moved over. They do hint that there might be more than one cape. They said capes here. Maybe in the future they'll also give capes for other reasons. It says over time you'll get an email on how to move your account over. Kind of scary when they use emails because people might try to phish your account. So you should definitely be wary of fake emails. And then once you complete the steps, you'll then use your Microsoft account to log into your Minecraft from then on. You'll no longer be able to use your Mojang account. And of course, then you'll receive your cape. Now, since I have some pretty old Minecraft accounts, some of them still log in using their username, and some use emails. But not everything's going to be using your Microsoft account. So I'm guessing like your Microsoft email then? That is actually a big problem for me because I can't actually access Microsoft email. Every time I try to log in, it just says, oh, there's a problem with the system. And it said that for like 2 years now. So hopefully they fix their problems with their emails. Even when I tried to claim my Bedrock Edition Minecraft key, I had to make a new email, but even that new email I couldn't log into. But just making that email actually allowed me to get my key. I can't even play with my Bedrock Edition account because I can't actually log in. I'm not a big fan of this, especially with all the trouble that they have. Now, Microsoft did pay a lot of money for Minecraft, so they do have to try to find a way to make money by getting all their users onto their Microsoft emails. They can also sell them Microsoft's different products and stuff like that. The cape itself has a bunch of red on the bottom with some black and kind of a gold trim here. I'm guessing the black is supposed to kind of match your background of your character, and then these are supposed to kind of like the straps that go over your shoulder. It's supposed to be kind of like a red cape. I know a lot of people will be very excited for the capes. Capes isn't really something that I care about. In the past, the way you would usually get a cape is by attending Minecon. And even though I could have attended all the Minecons, it kind of felt like a pay-to-win feature where you had to like buy tickets in order to get an in-game item. But people really do like their capes and looking unique. What do you guys think of this change? I have been playing Minecraft for 11 years. I definitely see a lot of changes and themes. In the beginning, it kind of was Minecraft was just putting stuff into the game and not really telling players how to use it or giving any like tutorial hints on what they should do next. But we're definitely seeing it kind of change to more of a trend for lore and storytelling. I definitely think a big turning point was when they added the igloos and the villagers and zombies in the basement with the sign showing how to convert them. And now we're really seeing this with the archaeology and like the rune portals. Now we'll probably see something that kind of explains the end dimension with the new Warden mod for 1.17 and probably its lair, which really gives hints to the end dimension and how to get there. I would love to hear what you guys think about everything that we discussed in this video today or other 1.17 things. Tell me that down in the comments. And I really appreciate if you guys would leave the video a thumbs up as well as share with others so they can stay up to date on the newest changes for 1.17. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.